There's sound, and it's black and white for no good reason. We'll put color on soon. It'll be like we'll put color on when we start losing people. It'll be like our way to retrieve attention. You're like, oh, I'm sick of this crap, and then all of a sudden, color. You're like, no way, no way. Am I too loud?
No, I was gonna turn on.
How do you know you're here? I'm asking the people online. Am I too loud? Kelly, here we go. Am I too loud? I can't see me on screen. Well, because you're not on screen right now, Kelly. You'll be on screen in a minute.
Okay.
Right now, we're looking at the beautiful Jessica and Mickey's pant buttons. Apparently, my right ear. Maybe it looks like.
That is a good ear.
Is that my right ear or my left ear to you guys?
Right ear. All right. We are starting Rumble 588. That's nice. Thanks everyone for braving the icy.
Actually, there are 5 people with us. I wonder if I've tricked them by being without color.
3 or 4 or 5 layers.
I know. I have my rain jacket and my vest back there too.
Oh, and I got a big yellow rain jacket.
If you're cozy, like when you dress up, it's like actually pretty nice to be outside.
It was a struggle to get dressed in the house.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at that color. Look at that color now. That's not even the good color, is it?
Okay.
I'm saving my good color for later camera.
So this is Rumble 588, and we'll start with the land acknowledgement and get into the inspirations. The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on Wilkinstis is the ancestral territory of the Siksika, Sitsipi, the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of the Treaty 7 lands, the Tsuut'ina, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, and play on these lands and who now call this place home. So the first piece of inspiration comes to us from Isis. The situation involves your past lives' memories. So Isis is our first piece of inspiration, a good Bob Dylan song, a killer goddess. Oh, if you would like to share, hit share on this live feed. We are live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Really, the most important one to share is the
Later.
auction. But if you want to share the art making, that's nice too.
Save your energy if you can only share once.
If you only have the power to share once, just do it at the auction.
Wow, there are 7 people with us. Hello, 7 people. It's not bad on a night like tonight.
So,
Out of the bird book.
Kelly, did you invite Theo and others?
I'll do that right now.
Kelly,
Out of the bird book,
do you have Zach Abbott's number? Sorry, I cut you off 2 times.
A wren.
Cut me 2 times, baby. Cut me twice today.
Why do I think
What?
Marlo Wren? I think Marlo.
Retrograde?
No, I'm just thinking of Wren. I think it's part of Marlo's name.
One of the Facebook accounts.
Very nice. Where can we hide in fair weather, we orphans of the storm? That's by Evelyn Waugh.
Orphans of the Storm.
Everything will be a Doors song.
Somebody was
tonight.
listening to the Doors when they wrote the Doors.
And then this is from William Blake. He who shall hurt the little wren shall never be loved by men. So cute little wren. Isis, wren, and
do you want to pick one or do you want me to pick up? It's live in our book.
the last one comes to us from our book of poems.
Okay, page 51. Wait, does it start at 51 or?
I think so.
Yeah, page 51.
From Rich Teru. I won't quit, I won't fall, I won't slip. I'm might not even die, not to be bought or sold or wooed. I'm the pebble in your ever-loving shoe. Close your eyes, go into that deep, cozy sleep. And when you wake, coffee will already be brewing. And you can have a cup if you like, or you can grind your own. It won't change a thing. You'll know I was up all night waiting for you to wake up to.
I must have wrote that on the first the last Wednesday of August. I write these poems when I'm ready to tear my hair out, and then find them when I'm ready to tear my hair out.
It's good.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Is that?
So we got Isis, Renz.
And being up all night making the coffee. We are going to make art for 2 hours. Can
That
you
seems like
believe
a
it?
long time.
Can you believe it? And then we are going to have a live auction at 9 o'clock. We have the third installment of the show that we have borrowed back from Dr. John Lacey. So if you are in the neighborhood, drop in and come see the work.
It's not up for long.
Well, these ones I want to keep up a bit longer. We're going back to school, so we have less time to shift things around. That is all. Thank you.
Do you need help getting your art supplies out?
Actually, yeah. Well, I don't know what they are.
They're all in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go wash the wood.
Well, here, can I show you?
Oh, yeah.
And there's some little canvas in there.
Canvasai. The prophesy.
Oh yeah, these are nice little panels. Or the panels are probably the best.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Where are you working, Jess?
Right here.
I'm gonna move
Oh, I'm gonna do a little wren.
this here, and then I'm gonna zoom out. Watch me zoom out. Watch.
Watch me now.
So the colors are a little muted, I think, compared to usual. I'll tell you why. Because I'm using a different camera.
Wrens are cute. They're little balls of fluff.
Wait, what?
Wrens. Look at them. These little babies.
You still not as cute as we.
No.
I'm on this side. I should be on that side. I don't really think this through. Where are you going to be?
Here.
Tell me the truth.
I
Do you want to move closer?
quite literally.
Literally.
Literally have everything set up. Oh no, this is not the way. Okay. I was like,
Yeah, you can turn that on. Did you turn it on?
Oh.
This is what we do. So actually on this camera, it just blurs out. But this is actually pretty handy because it helps people know. You know, not to be weird if they don't want to be seen being weird.
don't be.
You're bent on not moving?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you asked me where I'm working. I said here.
I know. And then I want to put you on screen. How about you come here?
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Does that work for you?
Yes. So much. So much so.
Okay.
It is so flapping. Cool. And the boils.
You can close the window, the door.
And my
Oh, sad door.
to relearn all these things. Maybe I just keep paying for it every single
Could I have a canvas or
There's some panels here.
paper or something?
There's three of them. There's pallets there.
That sounds cryptic. Sounds cryptic.
This is your brush.
Where are you sitting?
Here.
Okay. Can you see that screen? If you adjust yourself more towards the screen. You get what I mean?
Yeah. I got you. Hey, Donna. Hi. How are you?
Hey, good.
Good.
I made it to class on time.
Yay! As a teacher, I appreciate that.
I finished filing my tax.
Oh,
So
yay!
Wait,
my
are you in tax
e-file went
class?
in yesterday.
E-file. Yay!
Everybody must know.
Which year? This year or last year? Because we just finished our taxes too. Michelle is watching from New Zealand. Is that true? Is that a thing? Those are things that happen? Okay. Where am I? I'm over here, so you can't see me, right?
Jesse? Yeah. I have decided to try one of the heat gun paintings that I do the painting and then I heat gun it and then I rip the bubbles up.
Yeah. You missed that. That's good.
Because they're fun.
What's over here? This man is screaming. Nice little chicken. I'll do a bajillion little rain.
I don't think you know what a gajillion is.
I don't. To me, it's like 3.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we do have a 2-hour limit.
I don't want to go to school.
Don't be that lady that makes empty promises about gajillions, right? When you really mean just
You're
many.
Right. I'm just gonna do as many as as many little wrens. Or it will probably be one because I'm so slow. Will feel like a bajillion. Down my resistance.
I wonder if that's a ding saying Rich, you're chewing too loud.
Somebody else?
Oh. Kelly, did you send Zach the
We
Uh,
made zines in classes.
Yeah, I did.
Fun.
It was,
do you know what Zach's last name is?
Yeah.
it was so like so much glue.
Yeah, that's okay.
Actually, Kelly, can
Yeah,
you
I
just
like
post
that
the link
little
in the
thing.
comments?
This has got
Oh,
like,
nice.
like 3
Folds
pages,
out.
4 pages.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Fun.
It was-
That's so great.
It says here's the signs and symbols.
No, I did send him the link.
I love that.
Is that
This
just
is-
like
this is-
white noise that's coming out like techno? Or
No,
think
she's
it's
listening to
techno.
techno and it's feedbacking.
This is like nature.
Yeah.
Because I didn't print the other. What's it
Yeah, I
called?
have techno in the background.
It was like walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
It says here, I love this. It says
I'm turning over a new leaf.
it's like a new
Yeah,
mind.
I like that.
It's a new mindset. Turned out really neat.
Good to
This is
know.
like my
it's
first-
a really nice little document.
Here's my very first actually successful zine.
That's lovely. That is so nice because you can just fit it in your pocket and it's like,
And there's like tons of reading.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's fun.
That is super fun.
I'm having
Thanks
so
for
much
showing
fun.
me
Like
that.
seriously, I'm having so much fun in our recruit. It's like this is my second time,
Yeah,
but it's I don't know. It's so different. Well, maybe because I'm so different.
that's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
The first time it was like, well, no, it was like scared of trying everything, and then
Yeah.
this time it's like today I taught the class how to do something.
That's amazing. That is
That was really cool.
amazing. I'm proud of you.
I was going to ask, is there any white acrylic? Because I left my acrylic at home.
We have barely anything here anymore, my dear.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're moving everything to our classrooms and our home. So
That's okay. But yeah, I just got like a poster that I just wanted to cover up,
oh,
and
yeah.
then paint my own stuff on.
Yeah. You have, oh,
Thanks, Rich.
yeah,
That's neat.
it's very cool.
Felix. Oh, there you are. I just wondered where you went.
fake squirrel. I'm feeling the fake squirrel vibes. No squirrels were harmed.
I get a set of those pens too with the pom poms on the end. Those are so cool. Yeah.
No squirrels were harmed. I'm making this.
Mr. Abbott.
Oh, I didn't see what you were painting until I saw it on the Facebook
Who?
on my phone. You.
I have my back to you.
I know.
We're mysterious that way.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Great, thanks. How are you guys?
Very good.
I wasn't joking. I'm gonna do a tattoo.
Online.
Online, is that okay?
As far as I know.
I got the setup here. I think that's sweet. It's gonna be. It says Rumble. On my bicep.
Are you tattooing yourself?
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
Well, there are 8 people online with us that might rat you out, but I'm willing to take my chances.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I do remember at Gorilla House, there were some teenagers downstairs with some stick and pokes.
I was so mad when I saw them doing that.
Yeah.
And I was the one that ratted. And he was like, "This is more soulful." Like, no.
Who said
Strep
that?
is not soulful.
Like hepatitis is
If
not
anything's
their
more soulful, it's someone who dedicates years of their life to perfect a craft and then host it in a respectable environment.
The person who was doing it said that.
Are you going to tell Zach Abbott, who looks like he's doing it in his basement?
Well, he heard me.
He heard me.
Loud and clear. Yeah, loud and clear.
Did you ever apprentice, Morgan?
No, but I've done tattoos. No, I get icky with blood. I don't like blood.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it's in grade 5 or grade 6? You're in grade 7.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you like just going into grade 7? That's so cool.
Say that and then do it.
Oh, excuse me. Don't you love
Zach,
it?
that looks so real. How do you achieve this effect?
Lots of practice. Dedicated my life. To craft.
Green screen?
Is that? Oh, I know that, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach Abbott, come say hi.
What's up?
He's in Vancouver.
I'm doing this in my studio, dude. I'm doing it clean. Keeping it clean. Good, man. How are you?
Good. Haven't seen you forever.
It's been a million years.
Sorry, my face is right up against the camera.
This is the camera.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to see him.
Oh,
Oh, yo, hi.
probably your best bet would be, if you want to see him, would be online.
Yeah, I saw more on the. I opened up my phone and I was like,
Apologies to all the moms out there with tattooed children.
Have you tattooed your kids at all?
Whoa! Cool.
No. I mean, like, authorized a tattoo for them?
Do I authorize the tattoo?
Yeah, would you allow such a thing?
That's their call. I mean, they can do what they want when you're 18.
There's a lot of kids that get tattoos with their parents' permission and come to school with them.
Yeah.
And then it's like just chaos because all the other kids want tattoos, but they can't have them.
Honestly, I was like not even mature enough to have a tattoo at 18. So
What was your first tattoo?
it was a basement tattoo that got infected. I almost lost my arm. I had a humongous staph infection.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's
Yeah,
scary.
and then I got a big cover up. But not long after that.
What was it though? What was the name?
Bro,
It was this. It was this actually, but it was just huge on my arm, and we were all drunk and high on acid, and it was.
oh yeah.
You did that to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't obviously not of sound mind, but I mean, 17 and also just eager to get a tattoo. But even at 18, once I had money for a proper tattoo, after I got my sleeve done, I was going in to get my face tattoo, and they talked me out of it. I'm really glad they did.
What were you gonna get?
I was gonna get this one.
Huh.
That just down the side of my face.
What does that mean?
Death Wish. It's a skateboard company.
Oh, okay. I
Hello.
have always worked on maintaining my positivity,
Podcast.
and I got it in my head that I wanted to tattoo hope across my wrist. Not because just for no other reason than I wanted to just remind myself on a daily basis to maintain my hope. Thought if it was on the inside of my wrist, I would see it. No one else would. I actually just wanted it in white ink, so it'd be fairly light and just for me. And as always, he was like laying the ink down or the prep work, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, you'll have a hard time sawing through that on a bad day."
Are you guys
And I was like,
started
"Oh man, like
at school?
I am sorry I wasted your time. How soon can I get out of this?" And he's like, "No, just go. Like it's totally cool. You have no obligation to me. Just go."
Okay.
So I
So
think I
you
left him
ready?
a $20 tip for.
By Friday.
Just for this press.
Oh,
Yeah, well, like
that's all right,
Yeah.
right?
I wasn't expecting it to look like a plea for help. You
Yeah.
know, I just thought it would
I'll
be
show
for
you
me,
something in a second.
and it'd be a way to remind myself this is an obligation to
finish
always
the-
stay positive, right? I was pretty low, so maybe I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
thinking straight.
Yeah.
But I'm super grateful for
I
that
finished
guy
this
to.
today. It's a collage.
And then I have only one
And-
tattoo. No,
Oh, I have to
two.
fix it up.
Only two tattoos.
But
But it's because I was
Well, I
broke
brought
most of
that
my
up
adult
last
life,
week.
right? Like
That's why I started.
I lived out of
It
my
took
car
me
for quite some time when I was young and paying child support. So it was like
Cut each one.
just kind of a privilege I didn't have. Yeah. Like,
Rich, can I show you? Because you're just talking about hope.
Yeah.
So I just finished this.
I got a
Love
touch
it.
up
says
of hope,
love it.
but it's took forever.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah,
A few people showed up, and I'm very
Yeah, that's
happy.
great.
So nice.
I went
Luckily, we did
directly here.
some sets for a movie this summer, so rent's okay.
Oh, good. Good.
And for the last 12 years, I've been telling people that we do this Thanksgiving dinner and a Christmas dinner for people that have nowhere to go. And I used to find there was people that were actually skipping their families to come keep us company for dinner. And I really had to talk them out of like, don't miss out on your family to come here for Thanksgiving or Christmas. But actually this year I want everybody to skip their families and come have Christmas dinner with us. Like
I was gonna ask, what's the last show gonna be?
December 18th.
art show or date?
Just
Because
like
December 25th is going to be the Christmas dinner, and then that's the end. Like we're
okay.
yeah. So
Well, who is the group? Who is the group of artists that was here when it opened 10 years ago? Go out with a bang, have a huge group show,
yeah, right.
and then I mean I don't know what different traffic's like anymore, but
I mean, we the doors are open.
Yeah.
Where are they?
yeah.
As soon as they got a taste of success, they're like, "Oh, Rumble House."
Some people moved, and
Yeah,
everything's different. Everything.
right, Zach. Where are you now? Oh, online supporting me. Thank you.
Yeah. Tattooing his body with your.
I'm not looking. I heard him say it. It feels like a funny prank he's playing on me, and I'm too busy to look behind me. Morgan, you'll be here, right?
For the last day?
Yeah, you bring your family.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. Christmas or Thanksgiving or both.
Christmas probably.
That's going to be a great meal.
Yeah.
What date did we talk again? I think it was September 18th, my friend, right?
Yes.
How are you doing with that? Are you getting nervous?
Oh yeah. I kind of finished with 2015 till 2021 April, which is in the photos,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm trying to find some codes to print them, and I'm trying to figure out a way because I don't have too much funds.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the cheapest way to expose some kind of memories. And yeah, I don't know. I come today to see how much space I can use. So I can.
How much
use
space you want?
all of it, if I
Are you printing?
No, I'm not printing. I do have a small printer, a portable printer, but it's too expensive to print like that.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said. Are you printing?
I have a printer. I have two printers, but they are not the perfect size, not the good size. And
What is the good size that you're doing?
I'm looking for 10-15 centimeters
Okay.
because no, it's cheaper.
Right.
I would like it slightly bigger.
Based on the photos that this was just my guess, and don't take this wrong way, I don't want you to panic. Based on the photos you showed me so far, I assumed you'd want like one of these Covey's. But you can have whole walls if you want.
I do have few frames that are bigger, but most of them gonna be in small sizes, 10 by 15 centimeters.
Yeah,
So, like,
they don't
most
have
of-
to. They don't
most
have to
of
be in
that-
frames either.
Yeah, I do have like I found in Dollarama they have those like foam black and white things like the
Yeah.
Dollar's one.
Did you steal Morgan's spot, or Morgan, you done?
Well, he can hang there for a bit. Yeah. I'll kick around after.
And they are like pretty big. They are like 20 by 30 inches.
Yeah.
So they'll enter some photos and some kind of words.
Did you bring your camera, Jesse?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to take a picture of us as we're running out of momentum?
We're never running out of momentum. We're just changing. I took a picture of the set.
What's that?
This when there was Mickey and Minnie. I don't know where I put my purse. That could be fun. It's in the back.
Okay, this is all my. Oh, isn't that nice? Where's your camera?
I don't. It's in the back. I can't get it.
Oh,
It's in my purse, and I don't know. I will get it.
did you see you had a rough brush you wanted to give me?
Yeah.
I'll take the rough brush.
If you get, do you want to get me my purse in the back?
It's okay.
Yeah. For that I leave, like I did not look around. I didn't saw the backpack.
Oh no, there's nothing in there. I want to rip these 2 pages out. I hate when you get a new sketchbook and then you blank and you want every drawing to be.
You're talking to the wrong people. Going to my house, there's just this wall of shelves. There's some records. We love the records. There's some boxes of stuff we store. 90% of it is like sketchbooks with 1 page in them.
Mm-hmm.
I totally.
Because I don't have a problem keeping when I write in a book.
Yeah.
Because who's gonna take the time to read this shit?
Yeah.
But when it's like a bad drawing in a sketchbook, because it's kind of hardcover, it deserves to be nice, right?
Okay, so can I give you a little tip?
Yeah.
You ready for my tip?
But, sure.
Take the sketchbook, right? Make it your main sketchbook. Take all your other sketchbooks, and when you have a drawing you like, cut them out and carefully tape them into your sketchbook. When you do a drawing on a scrap of paper and you like it, tape them into your sketchbook. When you have a page you're not crazy about, take one of your drawings from somewhere else and tape it over the drawing in your sketchbook. But have one sketchbook be kind of like the binder that binds all the important drawings together. And all the other sketchbooks can be like the waiting room.
I love that idea.
That is a good idea. That's smart.
I have good ideas.
Fantastic.
Do you know who steals my ideas?
Yeah.
Rich J. Rue.
Yeah.
I didn't mean me. I really just thought you could show your camera. Go show everybody your camera.
No.
Yeah, do it. Do you know who steals my ideas? Rich J. Rue.
I stole your hope idea
Good,
for my hope tree.
good. I spread some hope.
That was really in my head all weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. And so I got busy last Sunday and started.
Took me forever. That's my problem. Is I work.
Felt like forever, but it was really less than a week.
Pardon me?
It said it felt like forever, but it was really less than a week.
Yeah, it was only like 5 days,
Hmm.
but not full days every day.
Tell me, Jesse, where's this Minotaur standing?
Sorry.
In a valley? I can do that.
Edge.
On a bridge?
Edge
On the edge.
of his valley with rocks.
On the eve of destruction? That's not a
Yeah.
bad idea either.
Looking like a waterfall. Taking a shower. I mean, outside this shower.
Morgan, what kind of easel do you use at home?
A table, a big flat.
Mhm.
Do you see this? I've been painting on it for 12 years. Previously, it was Elijah's. Previously, for that, I'm pretty sure he stole it from ACAD when he went. I had it a lot after Elijah kind of abandoned it. I remember Johnny Vegas used it for a while, and then Bruce took it from Johnny Vegas, and I used to do this weird thing where you tie it to a chair with a inner tube. And then after Rumble or Gorilla Close, I brought it here and I've been using it for 12 years. Do you have any idea of a young man who's a painter that might have the use and the love for a piece of article like this to carry on for? Because it needs a home.
I can only think about me. I only know myself. So
Can't think of anybody that might want this.
I don't know any painters.
Are you sentimental at all?
No.
Come and look and see how pretty this is. These colors here are build up. Some of these are Johnny Vegas's and some of these are Bruce's.
But I mean, Gorilla and Rumble has been a big part.
Do you want this easel as a
Yeah,
memento?
I would take it. I would take it.
But not for a garage sale.
Yeah.
So you gotta,
No, I would.
What,
What does
Felix?
light fastness mean?
What is what?
Light fastness mean?
Light fastness?
Yeah.
Did I say that?
It's on the side of the paint.
Oh,
What are we talking about?
The bronze with this?
Help me. What
It
are we
might
talking?
be like how absorbent of light it is. I'll look that up. Like,
Oh, on the paint it says. Well, it's excellent. Does that help?
is a property of a colorant such as dye or pigment that describes its resistance to fading when exposed to light.
Oh, see, I knew that.
Right.
No, I didn't. I can't back that up.
So you hyped about the school year starting?
I was just talking about tattooing the word hope on my wrist to keep my positivity up.
Oh,
So I'm going to answer that question by saying
kind.
yes.
Yes.
I am very hyped about.
Right.
No, I'm doing
Going
okay.
back to work. Yeah.
Dad,
Yeah.
Well,
could you make this?
you can have better jobs though as art teachers though. But you guys do a little bit like
Just do it. Do it while your hands are dirty.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know yet exactly what I'm teaching, but I think like usually I have at least one class a week.
Where did we say this guy was? On the eve of
Yeah.
destruction?
And Rich is teaching some science this year, which is really
Oh, great.
because he always brings science into his art class, so now he can do art in science.
I was good at science except for chemistry. I can never figure out chemistry.
Just don't touch the end, okay? Yeah, that's. What do you think chemistry is?
Well, chemistry is the makeup of everything on Earth.
Yeah. So that's. Can you just turn that off for a second, please? That's what I came to too. Chemistry is like the building blocks of everything. But then I was like, but then what are molecules? Like, well, molecules are the building blocks of everything. I'm like, okay, you know what are atoms? Or atoms are the building blocks of everything. And then I was like, okay, well, tell me what protons are. It's like protons are the building blocks of everything. And I kind of went through all these phases. I'm like, okay, but what is chemistry? And what? I even asked like all the teachers, and they're kind of like, "Well, I know, but I don't like no." And so nobody really knows. Like, I mean, everybody knows, but we all kind of like have this vague memory of when we took it in school.
Yeah.
And so I had to come up with an explanation for myself, like for when the kids go, yeah, but what is chemistry? And it's basically like okay, resisting disability blocks of earth. It's like
Yeah.
everything but light
Mhm.
and ideas is made out of a mixture of molecules, right? And then I had to sort of figure out like kind of what atoms were.
Right.
I mean, beyond what I knew from school,
Right.
because I'm an art teacher teaching science. And then I had to go back and I started like going into the atoms, and I started with carbon, which is interesting because we know we're carbon based and we're made out of carbon, but it's also like the one rock that we really took to, you know, the one that we all had to have
Right.
was diamonds, which is just ultimately the ultimate carbon.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to figure out what the atomic numbers meant because I wasn't really paying attention when I learned it the first time. And it's funny because the carbon is 666, which is like, oh, I wonder if they thought about that when they figured
And
it
the
out.
sixth element as
Right.
well.
What?
It's the sixth element as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. I'm having an interesting experience revisiting what these things mean, because the class I'm teaching it to will have a lot of like detailed questions about like
Right.
but why? And then did you burn yourself?
No.
Not yet. Growth mindset. But I also have been phoning Felix when I figure something out and I ask him if I'm right, and he usually knows the answer. So first of all, if Felix can understand what I'm saying,
Right.
then I know I'm explaining it well. And then secondly, I count on him to let me know if I'm on the right path.
Okay, do you think, like I do, that everything is sentient, even a rock?
I don't think it, but I feel it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I totally think that sounds crazy. No offense, but I also kind of feel like it's true.
Yeah.
And
that's what
I
feel.
also, so in looking up atoms, I sent myself farther and farther back. Like, well, I need to know more about the Big Bang if I'm going to talk about atoms.
Right.
So I went back and revisited the Big Bang.
Mhm.
So, I kind of had the feeling just intuitively that chemistry is like when you're dealing with matter,
Right.
and how bits of matter come together to make the things that we live within our lives, right?
Right.
But then what isn't matter? And then the next question was like, why, right? And so one of the things I came to the conclusion was that I was going to have to, hey,
Hello. Have you been in before?
yeah, these are my kids.
Oh.
There you go.
These are my people.
I am.
Are you visiting or what's happening?
We're visiting.
Oh, I see.
What did you think was happening? You're gonna shut you down.
More what I meant was to see you, right? It's not September, so I thought it was the beginning of September. And then I thought there was a mass graduation or dropout, one of those two things. Because are you back in school soon?
Yes.
And you're done? And you're working in like Alaska, but moved to Montana.
Grand Prairie now.
Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
So everything's good, but I was actually thinking it was next week and kind of paranoid that you guys were here because I thought you should all be off at careers or come on in and sit down.
No, Rich, chemistry interests me now. I'm just saying, back in school, it was.
I was kicked out of class the whole time. Like
Oh,
100% of the time, Rich Teru was in the hallway. Then he had to teach science and was like, this is not fair because I was in the hallway kicked out of class when
right.
they were teaching this. But yeah, I started looking into the Big Bang again, and I was like, this is a load of crap.
Oh, well, let's.
How could the whole universe expand that fast?
Man, nothing perfect comes from chaos.
Right.
Unless it was an intelligent big bang. Okay.
Come closer.
I have
Did
a
you burn
question
yourself?
for everyone related
Are you
to
near? Are you
chemistry.
testing to see if you can get
How you
close?
guys learn
No.
in school?
It sort of looks
that
like it's pointed towards you.
each element
No, I just probably
independent or
Okay,
they
don't
come
worry about the
from
floor.
one
It's your feet
from
that I'm
another?
worried about. Don't point
They
the
just
heat gun
transform.
towards yourself.
You know, I can't really. answer that.
I think Felix is the single one that can give a
Yeah.
Are you good?
right answer.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Because he's in the school right
Just
now.
leave that
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Just leave
yeah.
it there.
I
And
I
take that and
honestly
go.
can't answer that, but like in a way
So
that
Felix, do you do chemistry at school?
Not yet.
Not
He's
yet.
doing chemistry with his dad, the experimental science
there
teacher.
you go.
Okay. Well, then I have a question for the dad.
I don't think I do chemistry.
I'm really
Yeah,
just
so-
learning as I go.
Rick,
How did you learn in school, or how you think it is that each element is individual, or all of them comes from one and just evolve, transport? I don't know.
Are you talking about atoms?
Elements, all the elements.
Are you talking about how we learned it in school?
Yeah,
Or
Both.
the
both.
concept?
The concept and learning in the school as well.
Hmm.
Like what I learned in the school, from my point of view, I think it's right.
can zinc be radium?
I
You
can.
guys look like
I know it can't, but
how do I describe you? First of all,
I've
mustaches
explained
are
it.
popular now where you live, or they're ironic.
They're, I don't know.
Is that the look? Like if you look at me like that guy is so old school, he doesn't have a mustache, or are you like? Is it like are you?
No, you're hip still,
Okay,
because you can have the like, what's it called? The like anchored beard.
You can
Which
call
you
it
have.
that. This is actually my entire full beard. This is all that comes in
You're doing
at
good.
my advanced age. What's funny?
I said you're doing good.
People often go, "Oh, I like your goatee." You know, they ask me about how I style it. And I'm like, "Well, I style it, but it grows out of my face, and then it's there."
Did you guys take chemistry in chemistry?
I was not smart enough to take chemistry.
I did really well in grade 10 chemistry, and then I dropped at grade 11 chemistry because I started. I was like,
I didn't go to school.
But did they teach the elements as like what did you like all?
Individual, like each
Mhm.
element, like for example, helium, carbon, oxygen, potassium, sodium, whatever element. Each of them is like individual. Like I am potassium and you are helium and you are oxygen and so on. Or they are like a family. They start from the first element and they just evolve becoming something else. Depends what kind of.
Oh, it's
things
super
are
quiet,
around.
by the way. Don't be panicked. It's just because it's cold out and it's the end of summer.
The way it was taught to me was like.
Was that
they're
coming?
a family, their group. So
Would
you
have
were all
Okay,
like,
they are groups, but all of them are connected, or just those groups? Because I know what you say, like noble gases and metals and so on. I understand that, but I mean all of them.
yes, well, to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
certain extent. Like
Yeah.
the way like, and especially in university, that was kind of explained is to think of it like a family tree where like hydrogen and uranium aren't going to be very related. They're very distant cousins, but they have properties that.
The way how I understand with my own research,
Mhm.
I was thinking
Can you
about
reach
it, for
another,
me it makes
um,
sense. For example, the
paper?
sun is made out of the first element, hydrogen, right?
Yeah.
So there is a theory that the sun is the center, and time to time, atoms from the sun just go further, and because changing of
They're
the
different
position,
kinds
they
of
become
paper.
something
There,
else. So
that
in
one was
time,
the only one
each
like that
planet
in
was
that
the
bag.
planet
Oh,
before.
that is an
Yeah, in
trick to
time, each
play on.
planet is gonna become the one.
Well, I
next.
gave you the whole thing.
Like they're gonna move all the
Are
same.
those all
So
like this?
Yeah.
from the hydrogen becomes the next
Okay.
element.
Yeah.
From the next element, the next,
Yeah.
the next. It's just changing of the environment. That's all. But it's a start from one.
So I was asking, like, teaching staff,
Yeah,
what do you think
that's a
chemistry
little-
is? And they all
yeah.
said, oh, the basic building blocks
But I like
of
your way of
all
thinking.
matter.
In
I'm like,
school-
okay,
in
but then
school,
what
how
are
I remember
molecules?
that
They're
I
like,
was taught, it was
those
that
are the
each of
basic
one
building blocks. I was just
Yeah,
testing
I
to
was
see
like-
if people knew.
They
And I
are.
kind of had a, your normal kind of understanding of things, but then I spent a week sort of digging in deeper.
Compartments in school
And the
is
best I
like
could come up
I
with
went
is
to high
like,
school at the max, so maybe
Yeah.
on the university they teach you something
I would
else.
say
Yeah,
high
yeah,
school,
yeah.
in high school was definitely taught more of
Yeah.
like, this is the properties of each
so I'm
element.
not teaching any
And as you
string
move
theory,
on,
but I need to
they
kind of
say, like,
understand it to be able to
Put
explain
things
it.
together
I'm
and then they
teaching
tell you
science
that like actually none of it
20-4
matters.
and
There's
the
so many
force is not
exceptions.
because it gets
Yeah.
theoretical.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
that's
kind of like more practical.
Sure.
Don't burn the house down science. Makes sense.
The light
But-
goes and how we-
but I
what
wanna,
see
um,
here, we speak, you don't see the
I want to come at it like
we see
like everybody's
it's
gonna
not
come
the
out
same.
with
We have
some
another
serious
shade and we have
science
another
depth.
one. So,
And so So what are you studying at school right now? Chemistry?
No. Physiology.
Okay.
I'm going into this year.
So how can I word this without looking stupid? I have to see things before I can teach them, right? So I could very easily just go out of the textbook, have them learn the stuff, have them repeat it back to me. I don't really know what it means. They don't really know what it means, but they put it on the paper and so forth.
I remember grade 7 religion.
That was a good
You
one.
got it.
I've got a
not
wicked
teaching
comeback,
that
but I'm also online. No, I had a good understanding of what was in that textbook.
I believe it.
I
think
just
you had a
did
better
my.
understanding than what the textbook was teaching.
Thank you for that. Okay, so what I wanted to say though is I kind of had it in my brain that at some level the particles are more like energy than matter.
All of them contain, like, they all have energy, yes.
Right. So and like string theory is not part of my curriculum, and that's actually where I get
I'm
into.
surprised.
That's actually when I get into trouble at school is when I start to go beyond the curriculum to make things make more sense.
Yeah.
But okay, so like I said, I'm looking up definitions, right? Because I want to have a really solid like image in my head.
Mhm.
It tells me that chemistry is the building blocks of life broken down. I'm like, great. But I know that there's molecules, and then what's the definition of that? It's like building blocks of life. I was like, okay. Then I know there's atoms, building blocks of life. I'm like, if I see building blocks of life one more time, I lose my mind. I'm like, tell me what a proton is. Building blocks of life. I'm like, ah! So I'm like, okay. I also like I've been using ChatGPT to sort of like push my ideas against definitions. I would never teach something that I learned in ChatGPT. It's not reliable, but it's certainly good for pushing the boundaries of an idea and then asking for information where you can find more reliable information. So think of it like an assistant you can really bully.
But it's also really nice.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret? That angel painting was something I typed into an image prompter and then I used it as a reference. That's my solution.
It actually kind of looks like one of those.
That's
yeah,
cool.
you start to see the patterns. How did you feel about that the first time you typed it in?
I felt like I was nervous.
Yeah.
Because what if this is worse than the AI?
Yeah.
And then
There's some big feelings to go along with using the AIs.
Yeah.
But, so I came to the conclusion that like okay, so you could sort of argue that like a string in string theory, whether it's a loop or a string, is more like electricity or energy than matter, right? Like a proton's matter.
Yes. Well, no. It's the building blocks of life.
Sure.
No.
Let's go back a step. I'm going to ask you why the sky is blue, and if you say no, that's easy. Wavelengths. I'm going to hit the first student I've ever hit in my life. Because 12 years ago, I said to the science consultant, we were just hanging out. I'm like, dude, I don't have a good answer for this. Why is the sky blue? He goes, oh, easy, wavelengths. I'm like, okay, but
It's
just
blue because the colors.
Felix, give me a second to tell the story, okay? He's right. The answer is wavelengths. But he could have equally said flibbity flu and it would have been the same sentence, right? Why is the sky blue? Oh, that's easy. Wavelengths. I got 100% on that test. What does that mean? I don't know. And so it took me quite some time I had to go back into learning how the eyeball worked, learning how consciousness works, processing that colors don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a ridiculous question because they're just a thing we fabricated in our head. And then I had to argue with a bunch of things I believed and pull apart because you learn dogmas as an artist that are every bit as powerful as the dogmas in science.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Miss Wall's class one day to talk to her about colors, and she's like, no. And she started backing away from me. She's like, I know it's different in art, but in science. And I was like, no, I'm not coming here to fight. I just need to ask you a few questions. And that was you guys were there that year when I started mixing primary colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be weirder for me to levitate that sign. I go and put it over there, than to say to myself, I'm going to make yellow today. And then I made yellow. You've heard this before. She phones me. I'm an hour late. She's like, did you spend an hour making yellow? I'm like, I spent 10 minutes making yellow and 58 minutes thinking, I don't know who I am anymore. And so I had to break my understandings to sort of enter into those understandings.
Mhm.
But so string theory. Do you have kind of an idea how big a string in string theory is?
Generally,
How big is it?
like,
It's beyond,
yeah, it's beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
Except from it's you can kind of comprehend it.
It's both like infinitely small
Yeah.
and thin,
Yeah.
while infinitely long and
Right.
connected.
Do you know how you would explain like the one dimension of a string? Like how do you see that in your head?
No, because I know if it's
Okay.
I can picture it.
And I know I seem stupid, but I actually got a job, just a job interview, not a job, but at the Perimeter Institute to be a guy who worked for scientists to try and visualize some of these things that are hard to explain. So I spent a couple of days thinking, okay, in terms of string theory, they're actually, what I read is they're short, but that could be wrong. Okay, so nobody knows, and they're speculating a lot of stuff. But they're very, very short, and they have no height and no width. Okay, so when I try and visualize how something could have no height and no width and be one-dimensional, I go to my understanding of Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. If I have a Photoshop document and it's open, maybe it's 300 dpi, 300 pixels by 300 pixels, and I put a pixel down and I put 10 pixels wide, I now have a 1 by 10 line, right? If I multiply that by 10, if I make it 10 times bigger, I now have 100 pixels wide and 10 pixels high, right? In a vector graphics, I got 2 points with a line, and if I multiply the size of that, they're now 10 times wider, but the line's still the same 0 width, right? So an easier way to think about it is if I draw a line on a piece of paper, it still has width and height, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just very small.
Yeah.
But if I think of it more like cutting the paper with a razor, if I take a piece of paper and I cut an inch line on the paper versus taking a football field of paper and cutting 20 feet of line, right? The width of that line still stays at nil, right? So that's how I started to visualize what the 1 point perspective was. And then I started like experimenting. So, and I started with ChatGPT. I'm like, tell me how big if it exists, the string theory would be, and give me an exponent that's like bigger than my brain could break down. I was like, okay, that's a number that I can't understand. It's got like, do you know what I mean by like how big a string would look in terms of?
Yeah, it would be 1 times 10 to the power.
Right, and
10
you
billion.
lose track, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's just say if the sun was an atom, how big would a string be? Gives me another exponent that I can't understand. I'm like, okay, so let's just say hypothetically our solar system was an atom, and how big would a string be? Still with the exponent. I'm like, okay, let me just ask you this: am I correct that if I had a galaxy, how big would a string be compared to an atom? It's like about the size of an atom. I'm like, holy crap! So I can't visualize how big the galaxy is, but I kind of know how the solar system's bigger than I can understand. And then I can kind of like take that and use that to sort of balance how big a galaxy. The biggest thing that I can even come close to understanding might be the galaxy, and the smallest thing that I could even come close to understanding is an atom. And then I have to understand that there might be septillion strings in an atom, and they might be the same ratio as the galaxy to an atom to these tiny little things, right?
Yeah.
That matters. Well, Morgan, and it matters. No, it's not even in my curriculum. It's just what I have to see
We went
before I
into
can
plan
start.
for an afternoon, and this was like the rabbit hole. I was like,
Before I can start
talking.
talking, that's the first question of the book. What is chemistry? I'm like, well, before I answer that, I
Are you
need to.
teaching chemistry?
I'm teaching Science 24, so it's not. Yeah, it's not low stress. Right.
I was gonna say because Cummings is the head of the science department.
Cummings is the head of the science department. I taught science for 9 years. As out of respect to Mr. Cummings, I did not ever. When they're like, "What do you want to teach next year?" I'm like, I kind of like, well, maybe you should ask Travis what he thinks about this. But I never said that I taught science when I was there because I have too much respect for his program. And then I'm quite honored that when they asked who they thought should teach this class, he said me. So, and that's my dream class. I like to work with the kids that don't really want to be there. So, I hope I represented that story well. But the point is, I'm really kind of like digging into getting into way into deep questions. And then I stayed up really late last night and decided, okay, so let's just say there's a Big Bang, right? And I'm not comparing it to Genesis or anything. I'm just saying it's pretty far fetched that there was nothing,
And then there was
Everything.
then there was everything, right? And it's 200. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's something like 280 billion light years from where we are to the edge of the universe, and we're waiting for the light from the Big Bang to get here because we're farther away from where the Bang was than it would have taken for the light to. And it's 18 billion years ago. Am I correct about that? That's when the Big Bang was. We're waiting for that light to get here.
Roughly.
We're waiting for that light to get here.
Give or take.
Yeah.
This hit me last year on the way. This is how I got this job, is because I walked into work and I'm like, wait a second. If the universe is 280 billion light years from us to the edge, and we're not seeing the light from the Big Bang yet, how did we get here before the light did? They're like, oh, that's easy. It just all popped into place at once. I'm like, what a load of crap. But so like within like 1,000 years or something, it's like minutes in terms of like space time, but within 1,000 years, hydrogen atoms started to form. You heard that before? Except from, turns out each hydrogen atom is a galaxy of information that just in seconds popped into place. It's crazy. That is crazy talk.
Yeah. Well, would you get mad at a student who, okay, the Big Bang, I said, wouldn't it be...
Am I upsetting you, or are you just going?
I'm just.
Okay, good. Yeah, I do that sometimes, right? Like,
No, I got a
dude's
serious
talking. Like Morgan's got a headache.
Wait, talking.
I got in trouble for this.
No, I got kicked out of class for asking these questions. Now I'm teaching them. So
No, well, I need to know if this was a dumb question. I said, Big Bang, the whole cosmos. Now, would it be easier to put all the parts, rubber, etc., into a room,
Yeah.
explode the crap out of them, we got a brand new Continental?
here's how I explain
Wouldn't
it.
that be easier?
Here's how I explain it. And this is a conversation I had about math 15 years ago. A kid tells me he doesn't like algebra. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Algebra is cool because you can know what's happening in the middle of the story.
Yeah.
If you know parts of the ending and parts of the beginning, right? So
Right.
algebra might be like, you like Susie, you don't know if Susie likes you, but in the end of the story, Susie kisses you at the dance, right?
Yeah.
A is the B, is C is the D. You don't know what B is, but you know A plus B equals C.
You know what they
right?
realize?
Yeah.
If that's the case, if you have some of the clues, you don't always have to have the beginning of the story to figure things out.
Right.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Are you done?
I was taking pictures
Um,
of the end of the car.
Okay. See you then. Okay.
So ultimately, like, I know what my body does at -5, right? I know what would happen to my body at -50. I know what happens to my body at 20 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know what happens to my body at 45 degrees. And I don't have to put myself in a vat at 100 degrees to see what would happen to myself at 100 degrees. I can do it with math instead, right? So
Yeah, but, should not.
A is rich at freezing point, B is rich at room temperature, C is rich at in Vegas in the summer, D would be like what's happened if I'm in a boiling vat of water. Somewhere N might be what would happen to Rich if you put him in the center of the sun.
Right.
You can use all those math numbers to figure out what happens to the hamster in the microwave without putting the hamster in the microwave.
Right.
So when you look at the science of the Big Bang, you're like, this
Yeah.
looks crazy. You'd have to be crazy to think this. You step away from what it looks like and you work out all the calculations, the math seems to hold up.
Yeah.
As crazy as the science sounds, it's really like me and my wife. Look at me and my wife. Okay.
Right.
Rich and Jess got married.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at our faces, you're like, that's insane. They're not together. Right? But if you do it mathematically, A plus B equals C. Well, C is married, B is Jess, A is Rich. Yeah, she loves me. But it only makes sense if you forget about the reality of what we're looking at and just look at it as a mathematical equation. Hi, come on in.
It makes sense to me. so.
Is this an ambush? This is like the whole grad class. Can I send a picture of you guys to Mr. McGregor? Because he'll cry with jealousy. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Did you guys know that I put up all my best paintings? Well, some of my best paintings. The really good ones are in the back still. Let me take a picture of you. Okay, you gotta do something ludicrous. That's pretty good, actually.
I was even looking.
I'm quite honored you guys came. I'm sorry that it's so quiet tonight. We actually had a pretty okay summer. We're kind of anticipating that tonight will be slow. Luckily, I did a whole 2 movie sets over the summer, so rent's going to be fine. And then we're closing in December, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do this weird ass puppet show. One of the characters on my puppet show is named Dead Kevin. He's actually named after Mr. McGregor because we took Mr. McGregor to Disneyland. And were you there when he had a heart thing?
No, but I was there to come back and make fun of him for
Right. So we took him to Disneyland with us because he doesn't travel by himself anymore.
Yes.
And then we're joking about Kevin dying on our trip. And then he'd be like, dude, would it be insulting to you if I had a character called Dead Kevin on my show, but he doesn't speak? So I've got this mannequin that lives in my living room. His name's Dead Kevin, and I write content where he and I sit and chat, but he doesn't speak. So it's kind of really it reminds me of something Andy Kaufman might have done where I have to write the script so that I'm not speaking for Dead Kevin. I'm at no point going, what's that, Dead Kevin? Do you think I'm really smart? Thanks. I have to speak to Dead Kevin, and then the audience will infer what Dead Kevin's saying based on my responses, but it's just dead space when he's not talking. He pans over to Kevin, and he's just sitting there. We got puppets.
Maybe we should have a cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to indicate the silence. I can do that. Dead Kevin, puppets. We're doing this weird spaceship thing. I don't know. Maybe you've seen it. It's really embarrassing.
I
They
like
call you've seen them?
Yeah, Jess is dressed up yeah.
yes.
My
Oh,
own
yeah.
son's 20. My own son's 20, and I'm like, he's like, Dad. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what this? And I'm like, I can't really explain that. He's like, it's funny, but you're gonna end up on a no-fly list.
Yeah, maybe. I love it.
And then he saw Dead Kevin, my older son, and he's like, is Dead Kevin meant to replace me? I'm like, no. But I will admit he looks a lot like you.
And then you're like, but he did come to my birthday.
Yeah, that's right. And then the other thing is we were building curtains for green screens and stuff. One of the curtains popped off the wall. So in a panic, I moved a bunch of things and fixed the curtain. Then we went to the Rumble. I got home, pull into the apartment in the pitch of night, and Dead Kevin's not where we left him. It's like, dude, did you move Dead Kevin? It took me a couple days to realize I probably moved him when I was fixing that thing.
It's good. That is a good thing to.
Yeah, how much time do we have?
An hour.
Oh, that's nice, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Today we're.
Dead Kevin sounds like Weekend at Bernie's.
You know what, Kelly? I haven't seen any of the comedy movies that everybody's seen. I'm trying to remember. Somebody said that to me. Somebody said something about Weekend at Bernie's. Is it about a story? That's a movie about a dead body.
Yes.
He takes I know I should watch it. Does he speak?
Someone speaks for him.
Oh yeah, we don't do that.
Oh yeah.
No, he doesn't speak, but they kind of make him speak, kind of.
I gotta tell you, when I'm writing for Dead Kevin, I write for about 20 minutes at a time, and then I feel like I have the flu. Like I've never worked my brain so hard as when I'm trying to write for Dead Kevin, because it's so incredibly exhausting.
Where'd you get Dead Kevin?
On the internet.
Oh,
The mannequin itself or the concept?
well,
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
We ordered it when we got back from Disney. He came the next
I
day.
mean, you're not explaining the why.
We went to the costume shop and got him a wig and a mustache, kind of like my beard, actually. So I think we dressed Dead Kevin in my clothes. He probably had the hair I had when I was young, and then my son's like, "Are you making Dead Kevin to look like me? More like
That's the closing.
Dead Kevin's a younger version of Rich Stereo."
And Dead Kevin, because I kept saying, we have to keep McGregor alive. We have to keep Kevin alive because it was at Disneyland. It was very hot.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happening, and then the death. This is alive, Kevin. And they're like, what about dead
Right.
Kevin?
It is funny when you're like, mannequin friend takes on its own persona though, because like,
Was it pricey?
no,
No, the mannequin was very reasonable.
$75 or something.
Oh, really?
I think I spent more on the wig than the.
That's too funny. I love that.
Okay, don't overdo it. Okay, bud.
I won't. What do you mean I would do it?
By first of all, careful with the heat gun.
Okay. Washing paint dry is actually pretty interesting.
Not the ideal seating it should really be me to me or the other way. Not that I just like
And none of you guys still have siblings in school? Oh, you still have a sister?
Still have a sister, yeah.
Oh.
Addie.
So you're not allowed to buy a bong tonight.
Not tonight. Well, she said so.
What about when I was in school?
What's that?
What about when I was in school?
I didn't anticipate it becoming a problem. First of all, I didn't know it happened. So you bought a bong here? You bought a bong here.
She did.
Ended up in his closet.
Yeah. we had to, we
He was still in my
never
class.
put it- yeah.
Where did you get this? Bought it from Mr. Taylor.
I actually don't think anyone found out about it. Like your parents don't like it. But we did bring it to Yellowknife.
Mom and Dad found out. My mom.
Oh, they did?
Because they were like, "Why is there a ball in your closet?" And I was like, "There's a ball in my closet."
Can you
I
turn that
could
off?
have been cool this whole time.
Felix, turn it off. When it bubbles up like that, it could pop and spray at you, okay? Okay. Are you enjoying it, or
I'm making bubbles.
you do know that you hide it from me when you get hurt? So I'm just worried you're going to damage yourself and not tell me. You're fine. Yeah, maybe I'd like to think maybe did you defend me, or did they need defending, or
Well, it didn't come out that you were the one that sold it. To
oh, I
me,
just
so-
said it on the internet.
Yeah.
What is a block?
What's a bong?
A bong? It's on the front door. It says right on the window over there. Bong.
But no, I didn't know that it was there until my parents told me that it was there.
Right, and then you're like, if I was going to university and it was mine, I would have taken it with me. Yeah.
But
We brought it up to Yellowknife, and I think my mom saw it. And I think she was just like, "Oh, it's pretty."
Right. That's
So, and honestly, because luckily it was Zach's, so and she knew Zach from my old job,
right.
so I just told her, "Oh, Zach made it. It was all good."
Right. Well, and that's kind of how I saw it, is that you guys knew each other. I didn't even know that was happening during the auction. And then at the end of the auction, Jess is like, yeah, I go, oh, who bought the bong? And they're like, oh, you're students. I'm like, no, that's not how we do things. But we didn't have anything in place to stop it, right? Like we didn't have any way. It was not
And
something
now
on
we
the.
do. Are you students? Yeah.
Yeah, you have students in my school, and you cannot buy a bong. They were never illegal.
Right? Yeah, they're just paraphernalia. It's not
Ornamental.
Yeah.
I've had to smash the clients in the art room. Like, I don't smash them. What I usually do is I say, "Oh, this is beautiful." Now you know I can't send it home with you, but I also don't throw it out. So I guess the best thing I had to do to get your mom to pick this up. No, it's okay. No, I really like the colors you made it in, and clay. You're like Mr. Taylor. I can get an apple anywhere.
That's how you do it.
So you're in.
Working.
No, but where?
Uh,
You said Lethbridge.
I work for My Grand Prairie now.
You're doing what, sir?
I'm a journalist.
Right. What are you writing?
Oh boy. Well, the fun stories are more. I just did a Casey the Fire Dog turned 2.
You're like a Bill Murray movie, right? Like,
I suppose.
do you have a favorite journalist?
Yeah.
Like Woodward and Bernstein? Or?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Okay.
By far.
Okay. Now I'm really regretting something that wrong.
Dad, I didn't do the.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't do it fully. I didn't do it. Stop.
Okay. Is it also the romance of Hunter S. Thompson, or
You know what?
just straight up his writing?
It's what you make it.
Okay.
I think that in Yellowknife, I had a lot more opportunity to kind of channel that lifestyle.
Right.
You know, I was doing undercover pieces and, you know,
Like sanctioned? They sent you out on the job, or you just like, I think I'm going to put on a beer here and go,
yeah, I honestly, I did end up in a little bit of hot water with my boss. They didn't love that I was doing what I was doing because they wanted me basically to write, you know, community stories, and that's what that website was in Yellowknife.
yeah.
And then, you know, all of a sudden there's like an expose on the Salvation Army in the North, and
Right.
they weren't thrilled about that.
Right. Well, who's your editor, though?
It's a guy named Michael Lunsden.
So was Michael Lunsden like stuck for a story and he printed you anyways, or like how did he not catch you for that?
Well, so what I would tell him, every morning we have a news meeting.
Yeah.
So what I would tell him is I'd
People
say,
might were online in case.
oh,
Never mind.
I won't badmouth anyone, but so you know, you tell them like I'm going to the fire hall to do, you know, learn
The
about
story on their
right, just fluffy,
Poxa County Pete. Or whatever.
100%. But what he didn't know is that a lot of the time that story was already written,
Right.
so I would just schedule it to be released and
Right.
go do my own thing.
Right.
And yeah, I had some pretty wild adventures up there.
Would you agree every TV show you've ever seen has had a school newspaper?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so based on that, every time they would be at a staff meeting going, we got to try something different, I'm like, you know what the school's missing? And it was in every TV show I ever saw was a school newspaper.
Yeah.
I started a school newspaper 50 times. It was just something that the kids never really finished.
Yeah.
Until one year, it wasn't your grade. I got the kids started on a school newspaper, and what I realized immediately, oh, they're going to do the episode where the kid gets suspended for catching the principal doing something they shouldn't do. They wrote for blood. And it didn't occur to me that until the 1 year that every school newspaper is destined for that like young, ambitious writer that wants to like have the experience of like taking down the system.
Yeah.
And now I don't do that anymore.
Wait, there was something that happened at your school that wasn't there.
No, there's like something.
Oh, the treasurer or something to the Catholic system.
Oh, my school? Well, there's a long history of mistakes on the parts of the. I mean, we could start with the Crusades. You know, there's all kinds of ill-fated judgments along the way, but that's not even what they were more like. It was more like I was worried that they were seeking too hard the drama.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess my favorite well actually there's a guy in town, Eric Bomers, I'm a huge fan of. Do you know him?
Yeah.
He's
I've gotten to meet him a few times.
yeah, that's nice.
He's awesome.
So how did you meet him?
Through school, when I was at SAIT, because at SAIT they throw you right into the industry basically.
Right.
So I was, doing city scrums with Jody,
Yeah.
and he's there.
Yeah.
And there's a good group of guys that do that. They follow the mayor around, like
Right.
what's his name? I always blank. Beautiful haircut, suit and tie. Adam McVicker.
Don't know.
And he's a rock star.
Okay.
And he's he's Global News's
Go-to.
council guy, go-to guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he's incredible. Watching him do that.
We've had good press here, and so most of my favorite stories came through Eric Bomers. Big fan of him locally, and then in terms of like historical writers, I was a huge fan of Bob Woodward, and also Hemingway. I think it was one of my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Chris Jans was at Mount Royal when I went there,
Really?
Yeah, I was studying in a professional writing program, but I was a floor below the journalism program, and he was one of the mentors that year. So he was just upstairs, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of great writers. It's
You got a book in you?
I'm working. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Trying
your
really,
process?
really hard.
What's your process?
You need some photos.
Writing every single night. Just kind of
You got a typewriter?
dating that. I wish.
Do you need a typewriter? We get 4.
It really?
Yeah. We'll talk.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, because I totally.
If it's what's holding me back, we'll give you a typewriter.
You have to date the muse, though.
Mhm.
Like you have to show up for the muse every single night.
Yeah.
And just get it done. Whether you like it or not. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And right now it's a lull, and I'm just like I'm fishing for that.
Are you writing? What are you writing? Fiction or
Nonfiction? I'm writing about my experiences up in. It's sort of a pseudo Thompson type.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Gonzo.
I was slow to land on that, but I get it now.
Yeah, and it's
So all those bearded. Did you wear a disguise?
no.
Never.
Well, I would sometimes wear like a different glasses or shave or you do this kind of thing.
Do you have any risk of like you cut a story and people are gonna come looking for you?
Yeah, that happened a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, that was I won't say too much because we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does happen, and it happens a lot more than you think.
So I was really interested a couple of years back of taking a break from the school board and just what I wanted to do is teach in the prisons for a little bit.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like we're shutting down, not as failure, but because we're just reaching our second 5-year lease, right? Everything I've done here was learning up until last summer. Last summer was the first time I was like, I kind of know what I'm doing now. And it was either like do another 5 years or end in December. This year's actually become really interesting because we're learning about the last year, right? Like at every turn, Mr. McGregor's happy to see you. At every turn, I'm starting to see it new because like we threw 20 garbage cans out of here, like dumpsters, 20 dumpsters out of here. But I wanted to go teach in the prison system, and I was still locked in here for a few years. And I found actually at that point, I think I even contacted Nancy. I was like, hey man, like I'd like to teach the prison system. I don't know how to do it. He's like, I'll ask around. What they got back to me with was you can't teach in the prison system because you have a art gallery at ground level on 8th Ave. Like you're way too accessible
Yeah.
to be working in the prison system because no matter what you do, you're going to have some bad experiences and then they're going to come looking for you and your family. And you guys are there till 2 a.m. Sometimes in the summer we're on a block where cops never come. So they basically kind of just said, it would be great if you weren't doing what you're doing. And I don't think I'll revisit that idea. I don't think I'll go back to the idea of what I like to teach in the prison system. But I think our next project, have I told you what our next project is? It's called the Isle of Rue. It's a play on words of Teru, the Isle of Rue. But it's also like the mythology of soup has been with us for quite some time. And basically it's kind of like if Bob Ross and
circle back, the mythology of soup.
Yeah.
It goes deep in our history.
I mean, I'll talk all night if you want to. I'm trying to make it shorter for you. But
as in like the roux of a soup base? Yeah, okay.
Right, but there's like so many layers to it. I was at the midst of quitting everything. I was so broken 4 years ago one night. Look, it happens a couple times a week, but this was like 4 years ago one night. I was like, I'm done with teaching. I'm done with art. I'm done with the gallery. I'm done with painting. I'm done with people. Everybody in the world. Yeah. I never thought of that. We can mute when we want to swear.
That's when it's like intentional or planning on
all
it.
right, this came
Usually
up.
just
Well, for dramatic effect, I needed to swear in my story.
Yeah.
So I turned everything off, and I was just watching Ken Burns, another one of my favorite.
100%.
Yeah, Ken Burns on Jazz. It was like this. The first episode was called something, the Gumbo. Second episode was called The Rube. And so I'm just sitting there, broken. Screen goes black. They've got these like titles that pop up silently as the episodes start. I'm just sitting there lying sideways on the couch going, just God, send me a sign. And pops up on the screen, The Rube.
Your name.
I've seen my name, like, there's Paul Theroux, a writer. There's Justin Theroux and Louis Theroux, a journalist. Nowhere else have I seen my name, anywhere. And it just pops up on the screen. I was like, okay, I got to get up and do something. But so that word, the soup, not even important. The actual word, the Isle of Rue is in the space that we're doing this for 2 hours, starting the week after we shut down. Jess and I will be on camera. There'll be a camera on our hands. We make an original piece of artwork while we're talking about a person, place, or thing that matters. So you could even help us out if you felt like doing some free work. Sure. You're there. Did I not say Jess, Felix, and Rich? Jess and Rich? Okay, my bad. Jess, Felix, and Rich. He's actually the core of it. We're making a piece of artwork. There's a camera on our hands. We pick a person, place, or thing that's deserving of attention. We spend 2 hours making them the artwork, talking about how great they are, talking about whatever philosophies hit us, whatever we're interested in. At the end of the episode, her mom, who's mortified by everything I do, comes by in a delivery uniform that Jess sewed out of military costume. Her name's Delivery Debbie. We wrap the piece and we mail it to the person who we were featuring. So they'll get just a surprise painting, a QR code that's got like the episode that we did about them, and a QR code that they can get back to us if they want to. Every week we do a 2-hour show where we just pick someone that deserves attention, make them a free artwork. Other pieces that I might want to find homes for. Basically, if you want to log in, you can talk about having a piece, but I'm not selling any more artwork. And getting a piece of artwork will require like logging in and being part of the feed. And if people want to sell their artwork through here, they can, and they keep 100% of the money. So I'm completely demonetizing. And like I've sold 2,500 of my own paintings. 100 of them are either back there on the walls or just went up because I borrowed back 100 from Dr. John. Never selling another painting again. If you want a painting by Rich Terry, you just got to be a nice person, and I have to be in the mood to give it to you. So, and then Felix, what happens if nobody watches it?
We just kill it.
Yeah, right. So there's like no expectations. There's no way to fail. And
How you gonna choose these people?
People can help us, right? Like you log in, you tell me about somebody you know, and we might do a feature episode on the first episode. And as far as I planned as the first episode, in terms of who we feature, when we were in Venice Beach, there was a library next to where we're staying in the hostel that just happened to have a Lego club for kids that didn't have Santa Monica kids that didn't have Lego, right? So that's cool. So if they're still doing that. There was a guy in Oakland, California that did a club called the Scraper Bike Team. And he just basically would, I don't want to say, what's the word for pimp? That's not, he'd pimp out these bikes, 3 speeds, and put like dangly things on. He'd make his 3-speed bikes into like choppers. And then he and like the kids on the block would have these chopper parades on these scraper bikes that they made. It's called the Scraper Bike Team. Somebody made a rap about them, and the year before I opened Gorilla House, I was like, scraper bikes, like this guy. And they interviewed him. And he's like, okay, well, the kids, they have to be attending school. If they're skipping school, they can't come. They have to have a C average to be part of the Scraper Bike Team. And he would just basically make available the tools so that they could like spruce up their bikes and go on these parades. And so about 2 years ago, I was like, I wonder if that guy still exists. So I just looked up the Scraper Bike Team. Guy totally exists. I'm like, hey, are you the guy from Scraper Bikes? He's like, yeah. I made him a painting and sent it to him. And he lost his mind. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about art being something that I can just sit and do and then make those connections with, right? Like, for me, for the last little while, art was what I did so that people could come in here and hang out on Wednesdays. So it's like a new freedom, new direction, new purpose.
Rich, I did it. Rich, I did it.
Oh my god.
No, you didn't.
Can I see?
Don't look. My friend
That's really good.
may or may not have given himself a tattoo online tonight.
He tattooed Rumble on his arm.
Rumble?
Yeah. It's a good script.
Wow.
When I die, I want the whole city, all the graffiti kids, to hit every train and building with Rumble House. Rich lives forever.
Whoa,
Don't forget.
I'll head the.
Did you really put Rumble on your arm?
Yeah, it's there.
That's yours now.
Woo, mama. I'm pretty happy with it.
Love it.
Really?
I thought it would be a little.
You did it in under 2 hours.
That's so believable, Zach. It looks just like you really did it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the wonders of AI.
Oh my god.
Good night, guys.
Take care,
Bye.
Morgan.
See you
Okay,
guys.
I need some fresh air, you guys. I'll see you.
Okay, that's all good.
We'll see you later.
Zach, I'm quite honored if I was part of that.
I love you. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Here we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, thank you. I'll see you guys in a few.
See you
Yeah.
soon.
Rich, you mentioned Louis Theroux.
Louis Theroux, yeah.
Yeah, I like the guy from Britain, or he has a bit of an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
He's cousins with Justin Theroux, and I think he might be the son of Paul Theroux. They're all kind of loosely connected.
Oh, I like him.
My sister has made friends with Justin Theroux's sister.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a 300-year-old name. There aren't very many. Like, I don't meet as you guys probably meet a few Jenkins from time to time.
I never have personally, but
No?
it's a common enough name that it's every side character in every television show.
Right.
Yeah.
Or servants as well, right? I say Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the name Theroux was came every time you Google, I swear I think you guys are making fun
I'm
of me.
making fun of myself because I said television show like a senior citizen.
You did have the mustache for it.
Did you know supposedly is in the dictionary now with a D?
Really?
Yes, honestly.
Also, this will drive Jess nuts.
Don't say it. Don't
Oh,
say it.
Say it's in the dictionary.
You're what is it? I can't think of the word that you're gonna say.
What's in the dictionary now?
Supposedly with a B.
Yeah, what is the other one though?
I don't know. I've watched it from my brain. It's like a double negative, so it shouldn't exist.
Oh, I think I know.
Irregardless.
It's just regardless.
You know, I'm not picky about that. That's like
I'm not thinking about anything else.
But what Rick Rubin said about like when he makes the wrong word, he's okay with it.
No, I do make up my own words. And I
Which might have been
encourage
just
kids
his way
to.
of saying, "Don't judge me if I've made any wrong words." But the one that gets me is I quite like the phrase, "I could care less."
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say
Let me
that
tell you.
drives
Let me
me
tell you why.
nuts.
No, let me tell you why I like it.
Wow, I can't believe you brought
Because
that up.
if you said something
I was
and I
just gonna
said
say
I
that.
couldn't care less, what I mean to say is you have the distinction of being the thing I care least about in the universe.
Yeah.
Whereas if I say I could care less, what I'm saying is you don't even matter
You
enough
don't even register.
to be the worst.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Come on in.
How did this happen? I don't know.
Is it just by accident?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be married.
Oh. What a fun
Faye, we also went to Ambush U last week because we just bought tickets, season pass to the Heritage Park.
Really?
Yeah.
And everybody was so impressed that we went in character.
Oh my gosh.
They kept thinking, they're like, hey, can you tell me where I can get some maps? I'm like, oh no, I don't work here. I'm funny.
That's actually how I got my interview. They told me I looked like I already worked there.
Well, that's nice.
Win.
Yeah.
That is a win.
So were you there with your family and they just said,
No, I went there by myself during a blizzard. It was great.
but you just dressed the part? Yeah.
What? Sorry. Because the desk was right here, ready to learn.
We've covered.
How many
Kenny's
people here have
video.
never been in here before? Okay, I have to apologize in advance.
I've seen it. I haven't
seen it.
I've
Okay.
seen it over the screen.
Do you know everybody's name?
And I know your last name is Jenkins. I used to know more, but my brain has turned to.
Okay. Okay.
Jesse has much brain.
There was actually someone that went to school at St. Tim's or was working at the post office when I delivered some pieces. And she said, oh, usually someone else delivers these pieces for Rumble House. I'm like, yeah, my mom's on vacation, so it's just me. And I was like, I can't remember her name either. And
You
I
said
know-
she had red hair.
Yeah, she had like red auburn hair with like glasses.
Mm.
I don't know if she's graduated or if she is still going. I am not good at names, and I should be.
It's usually way more busy than this. It's kind of awkward tonight. That's super weird for me right now. I am very happy to see you. I'm not good with my feelings, but just know I'm crying on the inside. Oh, actually, can I do this? Because I sent Mr. McGregor a class of.
Now they'll be honest.
We graduated enough for the year.
No, but-
Sid and I were 2020. Two of them were 2022.
Okay. Hey, do I have permission to take your picture?
Absolutely.
When did you get home?
Last week.
Are you staying?
Yeah.
No. Are you going back to school?
Online.
Oh, why not? Why not?
That works.
Yeah, why not close? Why not?
Can I tell you, this is the best night I've ever had here.
It is not finished.
And it's not finished.
What another picture? This start 4 and 4. No, they talk before. No, they talk before.
All of the works up on the walls in this room and that room are part of. I borrowed 100 paintings from Dr. John Lacey, who bought most of my works, and so these are how many are up right now? About 10. We put up 40, took them back. We put up
About
another
20,
40,
maybe
took them back,
20.
and then the best of these pieces will probably stay up till next week, and then there's another 20 in the back.
No, it's way less now.
10. But they're big, so like my
Yeah.
bigger pieces are going up for next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Should I-
sending this to Mr. McGregor as well.
Should I stop the live feed and we can put music on?
Yeah. Bye, guys.